were already soaked in sugar syrup and piled generously in a glass bowl at the end of the counter. Aunt Runjan saw me looking. "Gopi," she said. I froze in place, blushing fiercely at the sound of my name. Aunt Runjan stood up. She positioned herself so that she blocked my view of the sweets. I didn't know why, but it seemed important to me that I not shift my focus, that I make it seem as if I'd been looking at nothing all along. "Wild," Aunt Runjan said a second time, her eyes still on me. "And it is no secret." Then she turned to Pa, and it was true that he just sat there, looking at nothing, saying nothing. Aunt Runjan waited. "Well, I have said my piece," she said at last. "Now it is up to you." Pa raised his eyes to look at Aunt Runjan for a moment, and there was a coolness in them that we were used to, but Aunt Runjan was not. Her cheeks reddened. The pressure cooker on the gas ring gave a thin, high whistle, and the kitchen was suddenly warm with steam and the smell of overcooked lentils. Aunt Runjan dabbed her forehead with a clean tea towel off the back of a chair. "I told Charu," she said. "I am not blaming her, brother, but I am telling you it is not too late for your girls." It was quiet, and then my sister Mona crossed to the worktop, removed the pressure cooker from the ring, and banged it hard onto the granite counter. The bowl of gulab jamun at the far end juddered, and Mona stood with her potato-muddied hands on the lid of Aunt Runjan's pressure cooker, staring at Pa. Aunt Runjan turned off the taps that Mona had left running and went to her. "Not like that, child," she said to Mona. Our uncle came in then, as if wandering into someone else's kitchen. Maybe he would have gone right through into his garden, but he looked at Mona, then Pa, and stood in the middle of the floor for a few seconds, before approaching the table and sitting down between Pa and me. We liked Uncle Bhavan. He was Pa's younger brother, and he was big and kind and enjoyed smoking outside and thinking about the past. Uncle Bhavan was 40. Pa was almost 45. But everyone talked about how handsome the brothers had become, as if they had only lately grown into adulthood. After Ma died, our auntie's eyes followed Pa from the dinner table to the sink, or out into the garden. They were sorry for him, but they were also trying to get the measure of something, and we knew it had to do with the space that had opened out in front of him. It wasn't yet midday, and it was already too warm for Uncle Bhavan. His face was glowing and pink as anything. He put a hand on the table, tapped his 4 fingers on the cloth, all at once, and then moved his hand to his thigh. He needed a smoke. He glanced at Pa and clasped his hands in his lap, ready to talk. Kush had poured Uncle Bhavan a glass of water, and seeing he was ready, she placed it on the table in front of him, and sat down to hear what he had to say. Uncle Bhavan gave her a grateful look and began. "It was the middle of a heat wave," he said. He leaned towards Pa. "Do you remember? The night you told Bapuji you were getting married? You were out late, and Bapuji insisted we all stay up for you. We had to put boxes of ice in front of the fans, and we couldn't move, it was so hot. When you finally came home, Bapuji told you to come in and asked you in front of everyone what you thought you were doing. You didn't hesitate. You stood in the doorway and said it as if it was the most natural thing in the world. 'I am getting married.' Like that. It was wonderful. I will never forget the look on Bapuji's face. You see, Charu, she... Uncle Bhavan seemed about to choke on something inside his throat, and we could see that Pa wanted him to keep talking. But Uncle Bhavan couldn't. "It is no use dwelling on things," Aunt Runjan said. She put a hand on Uncle Bhavan's shoulder. "Come, Bhavan, bring 2 more chairs from the garage, so we can all sit together." By the time we sat down...